music, motherfucking matters. 1 year, baby.
1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
1 year. Clap it up.
That was the first day.
Clap it up. Real quick, before we get into this interview, I'm here today with my good friend Lance Redeker, who was the first ever guest on Music Matters exactly a year ago today, November 21st, 2020. Today is November 21st, 2021.
In this bedroom, on this table, when I stuck the Above the Bridge stickers on it. Very cool. What flavor are you drinking right now?
Orange exuberance.
Is it your favorite flavor?
Oh, yeah. I know it's a hot take, but it is my favorite flavor.
Yeah, I think that, most people, majority, it's like enlightenment that you'd say. It's like
that's what everybody says. I'm kind of on the fucking enlightenment wave just because everybody likes it. I'm kind of on my anarchist.
Yeah.
But anyway, 1 year.
1 year.
Appreciate everybody who's ever watched an episode of Music Matters. You know how much I appreciate it. You know how much the entire Above the Bridge team appreciates it. It's all up from here, man. We've done, this will be somewhat like 30-something episodes in a year. I'm pretty happy with that. But next year we want to do like double, if not like more. Like seriously, we want to do like 45, 50 episodes next year and just keep growing, keep talking to musicians, keep learning what inspires people to inspire other people to make music, because that's what matters, man. Music matters, baby. Anyway, Lance, I appreciate you, man. I
fucking appreciate you too.
Yeah, I think about where you are now, where I am now.
Pretty crazy.
Compared to a year ago when we were at this table.
Yeah.
It's weird to think about. It's really, really weird. And it's not just because the growth we've had, but it's like the unexpected ways.
Yeah, there's a lot. You can't ever really predict anything necessarily. We were about to do the interview yesterday at the venue.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
But there would have been too much noise. Oh yeah.
But tell them where you played yesterday and tell them your perspective on it.
Oh yeah, so opened. I think something that I said in the first interview, I wanted to perform with Fashion Jackson. I remember that was one of the big.
Oh, you did.
One of the big things.
That's weird. I didn't even think about that.
No, like I wanted to tour with Fashion Jackson because they were friends with Rafa. So Fashion Jackson is this really cool San Diego band. So shout out
Fashion Jackson.
Shout out Fashion Jackson. Also shout out to Carpool Tunnel, who Dante's interviewed. But pretty much Carpool Tunnel, they did a whole tour, and their closing show was in San Francisco, and it was at one of the coolest venues I've ever seen, Great American Music Hall, which is like one of the most respected venues.
Incredibly historic.
There's like this fucking there's this poster that's like right by the door, 1930s like ballroom dancing and shit, and it was incredible. It was insane to be there, and I remember the day that Bradley called me in the morning, and he was like, yeah, like we have like this like open position with Fashion Jackson, like, are you and your band down to do November 20th at the Great American Music Hall with us? We're thinking of closing the deal. And I was like, fuck yeah. It's one of those things that like you don't turn it down, at all. But yeah, pretty much like, I think another thing that's really crazy is, other than it being my second show,
First show in the Bay.
Yeah. And there was a good amount of homies that came out. It was really sick. You were at the family reunion one, the one in LA.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
I'm curious because watching your set at the family reunion versus your set last night, they're similar in a lot of ways, but they were very different. I think a lot of that had to do with the crowd. But
it did, yeah.
What felt different to you about playing in the Bay versus playing in LA? Was it just the kind of venue, the people?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like going into a performance, I kind of have like a preconceived notion of like who's going to be in the audience other than my homies. It's probably like if I were to for instance, like when we performed in LA, it was something that like I thought the cover song would be sick if we did Ghost Town, because like it was around the time that like Donda was releasing. Obviously, there's like a bunch of people that like Kanye that were in that friend group, and I've hung out with them a bunch of times and partied with them. So I was like, okay, yeah, Ghost Town would be fucking baller to do. But then, kind of like being at another, because I'm always like in the audience somewhat, and I kind of pick up like what they like and stuff. And
what do you mean, like you're in the audience?
No, I went to like to a show with all the people that would go to the LA show. And I went to a show with all the people that would be at a Carpool Tunnel show. I did go to a Carpool Tunnel show.
Yeah, totally.
And I think, I noticed the cover song that the band did. I think Small Crush is their name. They did a cover of I can't really remember the song, but like a early 2010 song. So I was like, okay, like if they're doing that, probably it would be cool in SF to do something like more recognizable, less. I know that Ghost Town isn't niche, but You know, it would just be maybe better to do like a 2012 pop banger. So we did a cover of "We Are Young" by Fun. But yeah, I mean, of course, like it's a different audience. Also, I felt like at the family reunion, it was a very different circumstance too. That was like a little bit of like a festival that Eric was running. Shout out to Eric. Eric was running a festival kind of, and I guess that was more of like a carpal tunnel show. And you know, it's just different. Like when people go on, and I don't know, sound was different too.
How was the sound? How was the sound at Great American Music Hall?
Yeah, so the sound at Great American Music Hall was like the best fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool to go from you know, like school talent shows and shit to actually like having like professionally mixed everything. What kind of fucking sucked, dude, is Cyrus was about to use, a guitarist in my band. Cyrus Redeker was about to use like this pedal board that he bought for the show, but then there was like feedback. Do you remember when we were doing sound check? There was like feedback coming from it.
Yeah.
So he couldn't use it. They just had to like fucking.
Didn't he buy those pedals?
He bought those pedals for the fucking show.
That's dude. So
but,
tough.
But the thing is though, dude, I feel like he will figure out the technical difficulties before the next show. Like I'm not really that worried about it. And
I mean, it's not like you can't use those pedals.
No. It's not. It's just that like right before the show is kind of a risk. You notice that like when you do sound with specifically the people at Great American, there's like a whole fucking team, you know, that has been doing everything for years and they know all the obstacles and all that stuff. And Family Reunion was a little bit different. It was kind of ran by like newer people. So yeah, I don't know. Sound was definitely different, and I have no doubt that we'll figure that out by next time. But both shows were very fucking sick, just in very different ways. I think another thing is the Family Reunion show specifically is going to always just be maybe one of the most special things to my heart because it was like all of my artist friends, because that's like the fucking thing, dude. I'm like, we're going to move to LA. So all of my artist friends that were like in LA, they were in the audience. And then on top of that, like, you know, it was like my first show ever, you know, which is like an invigorating fucking experience. So, yeah. I remember at the end of the set, too, when I was doing trimming, dude, everyone was like fucking moshing. And then like, I jumped in the fucking crowd and then I moshed with everyone.
So hype.
That was sick.
So sick,
that was fucking
dude.
sick. I think another thing, too, is like, I just loved everything about that whole show. It just kind of, it was that first thing that like I wanted a lot of my artist friends to see the band and I perform, so I'm just having that opportunity for them first seeing me, they're like, oh shit, like he actually like performs. It was also cool too. I felt like whenever I did like talent show performances, there were just like parents in the crowd, so they weren't really that. I mean, yeah, like it just being supportive of fucking, you know, their child.
But at the end of the day, that's like all it is.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's. Yeah. So it was cool. It was cool performing for people that actually wanted to see that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah.
What's crazy to me too is I felt like you're very natural on stage. Like at Family Affairs, it was like, okay, it was in a lot of ways like that show is not. It was very different than like playing the Great American Music Hall. I think because
it was more intimate too.
I was gonna say I think because of the venue.
Yeah,
the venue
it was like a warehouse.
More intimate. It was more of a warehouse show. It was more low key. It was less of like a traditional venue. So I felt like you had incredible stage presence there. But there's in a lot of people's mind, you could say that like, oh, you know, Lance had a great stage presence there, but will that translate to the actual stage? To me, last night felt like you proved that stage presence can completely transfer to a bigger stage in front of a sizable audience.
It was. I remember.
Traditional venue.
I was talking to Sterling, the bassist for Fashion Jackson, and he was like, "Dude, it is so sick that your first show is at the Family Reunion. You know, that was almost like a test run. It like preparing you for the Great American Music Hall show, and that's like fucking true because I was like, if anything, I think I was probably going. The thing that I fucking noticed, man. The thing that I noticed about the Family Reunion show. During rehearsals, I never jumped around, okay? Like, I never fucking jumped around, I never bunny hopped. Like, when I perform, I jump around and shit. And the thing is, I got so fucking out of breath, you know? I couldn't really, like, sing some things because I was fucking jumping around and moving so much. But by this time, I remember there's this really sick artist that I follow named Johnny. And he was like, yo, if you do cardio, it'll actually, like, prepare you to, like, sing better. So that's why that's what I made sure to kind of
Really?
do before I went on jogs in the morning and shit.
So you started doing cardio and it actually helped?
Yeah, I did cardio, and then during the show, I'm pretty sure that you could tell personally because you saw the family reunion show. I just had better like air control. So
I think you did too.
That's another.
That's really interesting, honestly, because I was talking to this with my friend David Cook. Shout out David Cook. Last week about like the kind of the role that exercise and like stamina plays in music, and it's interesting. Like he was telling me like. And I mean, I can relate to this as a drummer. There is a gigantic difference from being physically fit as a drummer and not being physically fit as a drummer, and you can tell in the drumming, and you can tell because if somebody who just isn't physically fit isn't going to be able to do like a extended drum solo where they have double bass pedals going on and they're doing crazy fills, you know, and you're just up and down and this, you don't have the same mobility as somebody who's athletic. Like I watched this video one time with Travis Barker talking about the way that he like.
I mean, that guy's a tank.
Yeah, the way he warms up his triceps and stuff before he drums, it's like he's playing a sport.
No, dude, people are fucking built better drummers, and you can like tell all of them are just like, you know, they have muscle for sure. It's just something that you need to have like a lot of energy to do. I think that's like one of the main things that really drives a live performance is the percussion and just like I don't know. Yeah, dude, I mean, no one could tell, but, like, right when we got backstage, like, the band and I, we were just fucking, like, gassed, dude. Like, I remember when the band, because I was the first one to walk off, dude, like, right as I got behind the door, like towards backstage, towards the green room, I just fucking laid on the ground for a second. I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. I am tired. I was jumping way more, I felt like, than the family reunion
I think you were, too.
I was fucking jumping way more. So that was crazy.
I feel like low-key, though, you kind of made, like, that little bunny hop thing, like, a signature. Like, you kept doing it, like, it was very specific. It was, like, the same thing over and over again, which was dope. It was, like, now because I've seen it twice, I think. Now, like, I'm like, I think next time I see Lance perform, I'm going to expect him to do those little hops. Like, it's really energy-based.
There's a mirror. I don't know if the camera could see it. I practiced in front of that.
Maybe.
I practiced in front of that mirror. That mirror right over there. I look at myself. I'm like, do I look like a fucking dumbass? No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm going to do that at the next show. That's the way I'm going to look. But, oh, fuck me. That's fine.
Do you get nervous at all before you perform? Because to me,
family reunion, I was not nervous at all.
Seemed like really natural.
I think it was a really small crowd at the family reunion, so I was not nervous. Mm-hmm. But for this show, since the wait would, no shade at all to Eric's show, because those were all the homies. But the Great American Music Hall, I mean, those are big fucking words, to like perform at something like that. And I just did not want to fuck that up at all. I don't know. I was definitely fucking nervous. Definitely fucking nervous before the show. Sterling, the bassist for Fashion Jackson, had his PC set up in our green room. So I played Fortnite to kind of prepare myself for the performance, to kind of calm myself down. And people would think that that's a stressful game, but it actually just distracts me. Before we were packing up, before you like pulled up yesterday, Dante was helping out in the whole crew. I got 2 dubs on Fortnite with Michael. And then it's like, all right, let's go. Let's get everything fucking ready. Let's get all the merch. Let's get all the equipment. And it was just kind of something that took my mind off. My very good friend Garrett kind of introduced that idea to me because I kind of played it as recreation, and I still do now. But like in terms of just actually like putting that energy towards like Fortnite specifically, and just kind of like zoning out and just distracting yourself. Like I remember one time it was the premiere day of Garrett's short film Soapwater. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen it. It's amazing.
I've listened to EP. I haven't seen the short film.
Has my friend Sophia and Angus. Love them. But anyway, I remember it was going to be a premiere that 200 people were pulling up to.
Wow.
That's a lot of fucking people to see your movie, and it was the first time he's ever done something like that. I'm pretty sure. And he's like, "Yo, Lance, like, are you down to play Fortnite right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so we play Fortnite. He's like, "Yo, low key, like this is taking my mind off the whole premiere." And obviously, like I would be fucking nervous. Anyone would be nervous.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Before that shit. So yeah, he's like, yeah, like I was like, doesn't Fortnite like stress you out? He's like, no, it like actually kind of just like I don't know, takes my mind off of things. And
I think that might have something to do with the fact that it's so removed from what you're trying to actually do that day.
Totally.
Like premiering your short film in front of 200 people is so removed from a Fortnite game that it probably uses totally
it was literally it was maybe a bad. No, it could have been bad. I was playing Fortnite and I almost caught the dub, dude. And I looked down at my fucking phone, so call time was like 8:30. I had to be on the fucking stage. It was 8:27 when I was done with Fortnite. I was like, oh fuck me, Like I need to get on the stage in a few seconds, dude. So yeah, I don't know. Fortnite is also a very big thing for like me having friends. My good friend Max Motley from Mostly Music. I don't know if you've heard of him. He reviews music. Really sick. I got close with him on Fortnite. My friend Stella and Felix. Super, super cool. It's how you also keep touching people from other places, because Garrett lives in LA, Max lives in LA, Stella and Felix, they live in New Zealand. So it's just really sick finding that time. And I don't know, it's not like a game that's like necessarily competitive in the way that you're going against each other, like Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty, you're literally like raging against each other, like Mortal Kombat, like you're fighting against someone. But Fortnite is kind of like that it's that game that has like a lot of downtime. Like you could ask how their day was, you could ask about their life actually, and then while like helping each other out, like, yo, like here's this gun, and just kind of it's definitely a team exercise maybe.
That's a good jumping off point, because that's something you're really good at that I wish I was better at.
What?
You're so good at keeping in touch with all your friends.
Oh,
I marvel at it.
There's actually like a few people that I wish I was maybe more in touch with than I am, to be honest. There's like definitely a few friendships that I had that had fallen off, but it's something that I could definitely just be like, hey, what's up? How are you doing?
Do you ever feel guilt about stuff like that?
About like not being as close with people anymore, you mean?
Yeah, because I feel like that might be part of the reason why you're so good at it, honestly.
There's like a few. There's like a few, I'd say, but it's never something that I know that they would like think of me as a villain as. Like I don't like completely cut people off unless it's like really fucking with my head. I mean, most of the time it's just like they're busy, I'm busy, and we just haven't found time to talk. And also another thing that I think about too, if they're not reaching out to you as well, like it's equally like on like them, like they're probably also busy. They're probably equally as busy if they haven't found the time to reach out to you.
I find as I've gotten older, it's been far easier for me to be friends with people who are interested in the same things with me.
Oh yeah, that's like another thing too.
I never found that was like a problem in the past. But
yeah,
as I've gotten older, that's I look for.
I had a friend that broke up with his girlfriend yesterday, and at one point it was like 3 months like before the whole like breakup. He was already kind of like thinking about how it just wouldn't really work out. I mean, he's like a full-time musician, and she's like getting a business degree at his school, and like putting all the time, like she's going to a trip and like a trip like to God knows where for like almost like a whole year, not being able to see him. And some people are built for those things. Like for instance, like one of my best friends, his girlfriend lives in Germany, and it completely works out. But I don't know. Not everyone is built that way. And at the end of the day, like you want to settle with something, but also something that is realistic. And I don't know. That's like the thing that I notice is like a lot of the people that I do connect with are just artists, or people who are into music. And it's not even necessarily that I'm always talking about music with them, but just that they have that like deeper understanding of everything that like I do and everything that I'm going to do and I'm going to go through is just like super, super like helpful to me. But of course I have the homies that are like outside of it.
Also a similar lifestyle though.
Yeah.
Like
because it is, dude.
Yeah.
Like everyone is like, I don't know. I think that's like one of the things that is definitely one of the big things is like the lifestyle decisions that every artist makes. But not all of them. I don't vibe out with all of the lifestyle choices of artists.
Well, that's a funny thing too. Like you stray very far from the typical.
Yeah. Because there's two different
model of like when
I'm not. Yeah. There's two different crowds, I suppose. No, all the people that I hang with in LA, I fucking love. I haven't come across necessarily a bad person yet that I've met. All of them are just cool.
How you feeling about moving to LA? You excited?
I am excited, honestly. I'm excited. I'm not really that nervous about it. I would be nervous if I didn't have a bunch of homies there already.
That's kind of how I feel. I feel as if I wasn't planning on moving with you and some other people that I know, it would be very different. I feel as if like me moving in with people that I know gives you like an almost like a safety net to fall back on.
Oh yeah, totally.
Goes to shit.
I think another thing too is like I'm gonna like come back to the Bay like once every 2 months, just to kind of like.
So I'm trying.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's what everyone's trying to do at the end of the day.
I don't think anywhere will ever feel like home to me.
Oh no, dude! I remember that. I remember last week when we went over to the city and we went to Mel's.
Yeah.
Even when we were just walking like around that like whole Union Square area, like I just have never really felt that way in LA. And LA is like a very sick place, but I don't know. There's no, I mean, fucking cliche to say, there's no place like home, you know?
There definitely is, and I think
Yeah.
L.A. and the Bay Area, I think people not from California would assume they're very similar, but they have like completely separate personalities to them in a lot of ways. I feel that L.A. a lot more is happening than the Bay Area, like
in different ways,
in different ways, because
in different ways.
in a lot of ways, man, on a Monday night, the majority of people in San Francisco are going back to their apartments to go to their tech jobs on Tuesday.
Yeah.
When in LA, it's crazy to me in LA that like 40 or 30% of the population is one, people immigrating from other parts of the country, and then two, people pursuing some kind of artistic career. So they obviously live a different lifestyle than somebody going to a Silicon Valley tech job.
Yeah, whenever I'm in LA, dude, I get like no sleep. It's like it's always like moving. Like I remember when I was like on my last trip specifically, I think Michael, my manager, we went to like 3 different events, and it was like him and I went to sleep at like 4:30 a.m. It was just like.
So I mean, there's just always something going on.
There's always something going on. But the thing is, I mean, I wouldn't go. I don't think he'd go that hard, nor would I go that hard if like
you lived there.
If it was just a normal day and I wasn't like visiting, you know. I think honestly, like staying home is cool. Just kind of like chilling out, going out with like a specific amount of friends, and not like always going crazy is cool. But yeah, I don't know.
It's also kind of cool to have the option.
Yeah.
You know, like here it's like, you know, on any given Friday night, you're not really always gonna have something to do.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're in LA, I think you would have more to do. But then again, we shouldn't take it for granted, because like, there's a lot more to do in the Bay Area than there is in like the Midwest or something.
Yeah. No, we're very fortunate, dude. Very fortunate to live in California. California is like debatably the coolest state.
Like, yeah, I just wish it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah, it's fucking
I was talking about this with somebody the other day though. I think that like, although California is the most expensive state, there's like a lot of valid reasons to justify that expense. It is arguably one of the most beautiful states. It arguably has the best weather out of any state in the country.
Yeah, dude, you could live in like a hut near a beach and it would cost like $1,300, $1,400 a month. That's how it'd be. That's how it'd be if you live by a beach. What was I about to say? What, dude, have we not talked about, like, music? I mean, we had talked about music, but what music have you been listening to? I felt like I asked.
Recently?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Recently, I've been revisiting a lot of, like, the 2021 albums that I've liked a lot, because I'm starting to, like, compile a mental list of my favorites of the year. Yeah. I keep going back to that Japanese breakfast record.
Dude, I have not listened to that yet. I've seen everyone post about it, but I have not,
I keep going back to that. I keep going back to the Brockhampton record. I keep going back to the Jelani Aria record. I keep going back to, what else have I been listening to? I've been listening to a lot. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Wu-Tang, just in the past, like, couple of weeks. I don't know why, man. Wu-Tang Forever will always be one of my favorite rap projects ever. I've listened to a lot of Tribe, too. Just a lot of 90s hip-hop recently.
Yeah.
And I mean, even beyond that, just like, I just pretty much that, and then revisiting, like, old stuff from the beginning of this year. How about you?
It's like, as I was like, what cover should we do for the set? And then we came up with "We Are Young" by Fun. It just kind of
so good.
It kind of put me in that like other wormhole of like just 2012 pop bangers. So I've been listening to a lot of that shit. So like Foster the People, of Monsters and Men, Milky Chance, right? Stolen Dance by Milky Chance.
Milky Chance, dude. Milky Chance is so fire.
I said Foster the People already. But yeah, no. Also, just like "Walking on a Dream" by Empire of the Sun just being one of the greatest driving songs of all time. Like
one of the greatest driving songs?
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that, but I definitely.
But now you are.
Yeah, now I kind of am.
Now you are. Now you're like, oh shit, that's Subaru.
One thing I love to do is like go on streaming services and go back and like I'll shuffle the 2010 pop hit playlists, and I forgot just like I'll just get all these memories coming back to me, and I'll forget how many of these songs I just like loved when I was a kid. I totally haven't thought about them since then. I'm gonna pick a balloon.
It's just crazy how pop has progressed from that time. I think we talked about this in like an interview one time. But yeah, I don't know. Also, what was that other song? Tongue Tied by Group Love. That's also a fucking banger, which is like
classic.
That's so sick, dude. It makes me like want to run out of the house and like ride a bike or something. You know, just like and have like a person with a home video camera following me and my friends at like a
But like a really
water
bad
park.
camcorder, like a camcorder that has like.
But like it's
text
also
on
cool.
it.
But it's also cool
Yeah.
at the same time. Like it has the date.
It's
and the
funny
battery
how
inside.
those like that style of video has come back into fashion so much. Like people shoot in like the fashion of like a bad '90s camcorder as like an aesthetic choice.
Shit's sick as fuck. I think
Pretty cool.
One of the people that does it, this friend that I have, Chris Emond. He also owns a record label, Orange Label Records, but he records like skate videos and just kind of like videos of him and his friends. It's really fucking sick. I mean, yeah. I think it started honestly with like, I think what made it cool, I might be capping on this, but I think that like Kanye and Travis Scott, they had, we'll talk about Travis Scott in a second. Kanye and Travis Scott, they had,
I have a, yeah.
Yeah. So Kanye and Travis Scott, they had this like videographer that followed them around, and he was like previously a garbage man. I don't know how he was like found out, but he pretty much used like a 90s video camera. And then yeah, it just became really fucking sick. I think that after that is when like everyone started like doing it. But what did you have to say about T-Man?
Last night during carpool set.
Okay. I was definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, there was a moment where somebody fell, and then I fell, and then like 3 or 4 people.
Was it you and Sterling that fell?
Yeah, well, I don't think Sterling fell. Because Sterling's, bro, I feel like Sterling is so big, bro.
6'5".
Nobody can touch that man.
No one.
But I fell. There was like a moment where I fell, and like bro, I never feel smaller than I do in pits. Like in my day to day, I don't feel like a small person. But whenever I go to shows, I feel like a little bitch, bro. Like when I saw Cardi, I was getting pushed around like I was like a fucking 4'5", like 90-pound like. A 7th grade girl, bro. Like I felt like a bitch.
Yeah.
But anyway,
right.
so people there was like a moment where one person got pushed down, and like I fell, and somebody else fell.
Oh,
and it was just
fuck.
like a little thing, but it was like really quickly. Everybody was like, dude, everybody got up and like picked up everybody around.
Thank
right?
God, dude.
It was like a very communal thing, and
I think there would have been.
I got to thinking about it. I was like, dude, what happened to ASTROWORLD is so easily avoidable. There's so many circumstances that had to go awry for that situation to escalate.
I think one thing I'm gonna say is like Travis Scott is definitely being a bitch about it. He's saying the most minuscule details like, oh, we're getting like firefighters and police to help with everything, which is not really doing anything. But also at the same time, I'm not gonna say that the whole thing is his fault. You know, he's not the one running.
Here's where I think he went wrong.
Okay.
I think when Travis Scott went on Twitter and like open-handedly encouraged people to sneak into his festival. Yeah, well what he did is he went.
So that like overpopulated the already
populated. Well that was the problem. The problem was that Travis Scott went on Twitter and it's like a now deleted tweet, but he went on Twitter and he tweeted like tickets are sold out, but we're still gonna let like the real ragers in or some shit like that. But it's like a now deleted tweet. But anyway, I think that's like open bracketly like saying if you try to sneak in, we're not going to stop you. And the amount of people that snuck into that festival is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's a large reason as to why the violence happened. It was because of the overpopulation.
I think another thing too, so I mean, yes, that's something that they should have predicted. So my manager, Michael, he was in the crew.
There, right?
He was there. He was helping out in the crew. And Jesus. At the time that Travis went on stage, he was in the back. So he wasn't really in like the middle, you know, he kind of just stayed out of it because it was really crazy even before like that whole like notion of like, you know, everything like the crowd crushing shit happened. You know, he wasn't even in that. But one key thing that he said is that they didn't hire enough security for the event.
Yeah, that was talked about a lot.
I think another thing too is Travis Scott isn't the kind of person that would say like, hey, there's a lot of fucking people here. Mosh, have fun, but also like watch the person behind you. And if he said that, it would probably be prevented.
I think so too, because honestly, man, those fans
that shit is sick though.
Gospel.
That shit is sick. How like yesterday at the show, there were people like freezing, like, "Hey, get up," and then.
Well, yeah, I mean
that's a safe show, yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like, for example, like I've been to like, I mean, I go to shows like every week, but I was the past couple of shows I've been to after the Travis Scott thing. I've been thinking about like the idea that I hope that one bad and unfortunate and very tragic situation doesn't affect concert culture as a whole.
Yeah.
But then
I think it will in a good way.
No, but that's what I was saying. I think yesterday I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I was like, you know, hopefully it affects things in a good way. It makes people more aware of the
Yeah,
person
totally,
next to
dude.
them. We don't want anybody to stop having fun, but there's such an obligation you have when you're having such a physical, like, kind of fun like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really have to look out for the person next to you, because we now are having been so viciously reminded of what can happen in the worst case scenario.
Yeah, because, like, that's, like, the thing is already when moshing is happening, like, let's say, I think the most, like, recent memory of, like, a violent, like, tour was, like, I guess, like, you went to the Playboy Cardi tour, right? You went to that. But
Yeah, that was interesting.
I'd say even, you'll talk about that in a second, but I'd say even before that, the ASAP Rocky, like, the ASAP tour, like, the testing tour,
Really?
there were, like, people, like, flexing videos of, like, their faces bleeding, and their ears pop, their lips pop, their noses bleeding, and being like black-eyed and bruised. And they're like, yeah, this is sick, like teeth knocked out. It's something that, like, this crowd-crushing thing happening. Maybe, I mean, we all thought about it, like, okay, what if someone gets fucking crushed? It's Battle of the Bastards on Game of Thrones. But, like, at the same time, like, no one actually expected that shit to happen, because you're like, okay, people should actually, like, care about the people that are next to them somewhat, and ask if they're okay. But with someone as encouraging to, like, start the rage, like, I don't think I've ever seen like a rap artist, like, be as encouraging to be, like, almost not, I'm not gonna say hateful, but, like, like, I want you to be angry when you're fucking moshing, like, I just don't really,
Yeah.
that's just a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. So I don't know, it was maybe destined to happen, but also, like, I mean, happened, so it will hopefully never fucking happen again, man.
I mean, that is the other way to look at it. Like, maybe it was destined to happen. Like, eventually, maybe something did have to go wrong, and it's terrible, man. That those people lost their lives, and I mean, obviously, condolences to the families of all of them. That's terribly sad, especially when you look at their ages and you look at, they were in a place where they went to have fun, man.
Yeah,
like they went to have a good time with their friends.
I just hope,
family.
dude, like, if like whoever was in the crowd that got, like, it fucking sucks that they passed. But I hope that whoever,
their
like,
lives aren't taken in vain.
If
does something good.
I hope that like one of the people that was, like, moshing and, like, lost their life, I hope that they were listening to their favorite, like, Travis Scott song, and just, like, it just happened quickly, because that fucking, I don't know. If it were to happen, like, if it were to happen, that's the way that, like, I feel like a Travis Scott fan would want to go out, if it were the case.
It makes sense that, honestly, I think that if some of the blame could be given to the fact that we are also trying to re-acclimate to live music. I really don't think people are as used to live music anymore, because there was literally a year and a half without it. Did you know what's
that's
crazy?
A good point.
I was reading something that is like, I this is gonna sound ignorant. I don't remember where I read this or the exact statistic, but I believe it was that this period during COVID, when we didn't have live music, was the longest period that we haven't had live music in America ever.
That's fucking crazy.
Like, ever. I guess, like, the previous example was, like, during Prohibition or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was, like, a reason there was no concerts in America for, like, a week. Like, a week.
Yeah, it was, like, fucking, I mean, for all the COVID shit, it was, like, how long?
Like a year.
Like a fucking year.
Like over a year.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just, like, I've analyzed what kind of shows that I like, and it's, like, I love moshing at shows, but I love it to be safe. Like,
of course.
I want it, like, you could survive a Playboy Cardi concert, but I don't think that's my vibe. Like, I'll just kind of, like,
well, your goal shouldn't be, like, I want to survive this concert. That's stupid.
That's how some people be, though. That's how some people be.
I mean, that's like...
Those are the people that were at the Travis Scott concert.
Yeah.
Those are the people that were there.
It's just, like, I don't know. Your goal shouldn't be, like, oh, I survived this concert. Your goal should be to go listen to an artist you love live and enjoy their music with friends. But
exactly.
The thing is, too, it's like, I feel that, like, there's so often, like, this happened to me so many times when I've been in, like, a pit, and I've just been, like, pushing people, everybody's pushing me, we're having a good time, and then the second the song ends, like this, either the song ends or, like, the tempo changes or whatever, I, like, look to the person next to me, I dap him up, I'm like, hey, man, that was hella fun, that was dope. That happened to me last night a couple times. I met the off chance that he's watching this would be crazy. I met this guy Aiden. If Aiden is watching this, bro, this is a great example. Me and this guy were just jumping. Me and Grant were jumping with this guy. It was hella fun. But me and Grant were jumping with this guy. And then after I did the song, and I looked at him. I was like, "Hey, bro!" And I dapped him up. We were just talking. I'm like, "Hey, man, what's your name?" He's like, "I'm Aiden." I'm like, "Oh, Dante, man, nice to meet you." And it was cool. It's just it was a cool moment.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's some. I don't fucking know. Yeah, let's. Last
time I interviewed you, it was before. This is crazy. Me going back and watching this. It was before Truman came out. Like it was right before Truman came out. Promote Truman. What do you think were the biggest changes that came into your life since Truman? Because from an outside perspective and just watching you, because I'm you're like one of my best friends. It's It's been crazy.
You've seen it all. You've seen it all.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Truman. I think another thing. It was definitely a song. I love Truman very much. But it was definitely a song where I was with the team, and we were kind of just thinking, it was just after Quiche released, right? I mean, I already told my story of Truman. I heard the riff in my dream. I wrote it with Kate. And I was like, okay, this is a fucking banger. And I knew exactly what its purpose was when I first, wrote it with Kate. I was like, okay, this is a pop. This is, just a pop fucking banger that anyone can play. It's not something that I'm boxing in at all. It's just, fucking, pleasant to hear. It's bright. It's upbeat. I have not made a song. Dude, every song that I made before Truman was slow.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know that? Yeah, the beat, I think that song was 140 BPM. And then all my songs before were fucking 90.
Yeah. So
everything was just super slow before that. So I don't want to say that I saw it coming, but I knew that it was going to be the most successful song yet. I just knew. I just knew when I dropped it.
Why do you think that? Just because it was the most
It was just the most. Yes. It was the most commercial. It was the most Also, another thing too is it was the first song that Michael and Bradley were able to spread around. You know what I'm saying? It was the first song. I'm just all right, we're gonna get working, which are my managers. So, yeah, Truman literally has connected me to some of my favorite people ever. It's definitely done a lot for me. But I mean, the first connections that I made with AG Club with Peachtree Rascals was because of Keys. AG Club hat, kind of repping for the Bay. That was a sick show. That was sick.
Fun.
That was sick.
When me and Lance saw AG a couple weeks ago, this is a funny story. I came from it was my grandpa's birthday. And we had a little party up in Napa.
That is so fucking hilarious, man.
I bought the tickets and I forgot that it was his birthday. So I just kind of scrapped it up. I was like, damn, that sucks. I'll see him when they come back, whatever it is.
He brought a plate of spaghetti when he pulled up.
No, I wish.
He brought a fucking plate of ravioli.
No.
Imagine from his grandpa's fucking party, man.
Imagine I come with the party hat on, the ravioli. What's good?
No, dude. I could smell the ravioli on him right when he got back from his grandfather's birthday.
It was on some grade A Fredo shit. Grade A Fredo shit.
Dude, no. It was fucking hilarious. I remember I get a text from Dante on my phone, and it's I get a text from you on my phone, and you're like, yo, I'm gonna get dropped off. Are you still? My mom
dropped you on the way home.
Your mom dropped you the fuck off. I was like, yeah, dude, I could give you a ride home. Dude, that day was fucked, man. That day was fucked. Did you see how much water, how much it was raining that day?
Yes, it was so wet. Dude, we were getting poured on after the show.
It was fucked. I remember on the way there, because Michael was sitting shotgun and I was driving. Bro, on the fucking freeway.
Oh, I saw that video that Mike put on his
story. No. Oh, yeah. With the water. No. But that's not what I'm fucking talking about, bro. Uh-huh. There were 11 cars on the side fucking fucked. On the side of the fucking road, man. It was Mad Max Fury Road.
What?
Yeah, dude. And then when I was driving, dude, on the freeway, I was driving at 30 miles per hour. That's how it was foggy. It was fucking wet. I could not drive faster.
I think I know what you mean because.
And in front of me are the fucking 3 horsemen of the apocalypse in cars. It was just fucked, dude. Super eerie. I did not. That was the most difficult drive I've ever done. On the way back, it was kind of easier, but It was fucked.
I remember when I was driving to Napa that same day, actually, probably around the same time as you, it was like we were doing the same thing. We were on the freeway going like 35,
Yeah,
like
dude.
40.
But did you see the cars on the side that were just like in accidents?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, dude. It was some fuck shit.
But yeah, so I show up to the show, and like they didn't know, like Lance knew I was coming at this point, but he didn't know like when I was there.
I didn't know when you were there.
So I just like I saw like Michael because he's tall as fuck, and then I saw like I saw Michael, and then like I turned around and I saw Christian, and then I just like jumped into a pit with them before they didn't even know I was there. And it was just like it was a cool moment because I just kind of showed up. It was really fun.
God, there's so much energy in that show. It's also because they're from the Bay. They're Bay Area.
Yeah.
Bay Area goons. Bro, it was hella funny when we went backstage in the green room. We were hanging with them, and you got starstruck when you met Redville. It was really funny.
Yeah, I'm a big Redville fan, man. I love his music.
Fan. I remember you like, yo, what should I say?
I was a little starstruck. I definitely was.
That's how it be. That's how it be.
No, that's definitely how it is. Bro.
That's how it be. No,
I'll never have shame in admitting that.
He's so young too.
Isn't that crazy?
He's fucking young.
Yeah.
People tell me that I'm 19. People tell me that I'm young.
He's 17?
Right? Yes, he's 17.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Going on a national tour and you're 17.
I think another young like girl that I saw, she opened up for Garrett at his first car wash show.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Kali, and she was 16 at that show, but she just turned 17.
Whoa.
But she is like a queen. Like she is just, and now she's opening for Claude, I think, on tour.
That's awesome.
But she is fucking hella good, dude. And in her life, she's fucking crazy, dude. I was like, whoa. It's honestly an inspiring performance. I think when I saw her perform, she was just like commanding the crowd and like kind of like jumping around. I was like, all right, family reunion. I was jumping around a lot, but then after I saw her performance, I was like, shit, I need to like, I guess I need to jump more. Fuck it.
Obviously, you practice the music and you practice your set a lot before you go and you play.
Yeah.
And I know you were talking about like in the mirror like stuff, but what are ways that you go about like practicing stage presence? Do you ever think like do you think about what you want to do? Is it calculated?
It's really like feeling the whole like band's energy and then just kind of like taking it. I can't really explain how to do it. You just have to like feel everything that you're doing. It's a good example of it. I think the first time that I like saw an example of just like letting, it sounds so pretentious, but it's true. I mean, like the music takes over you when you're performing. It's just something that you can't explain.
Totally.
And if you make music, you totally understand when you're performing, you are a different person. You're not like once you walk on stage, once you're in front of a crowd, like you let your art really, really, really take over you. A really good example.
You have to.
I was watching a documentary about Joy Division the other day. Mm-hmm. Have you seen how Ian Curtis, specifically like the lead singer, looked when he was performing?
I've not.
Just like almost possessed by like a fucking like demon. When he's performing, like his eyes go white and he's fucking like almost like, I mean, I guess he had seizures, but that wasn't like what he looked like.
He has epilepsy, right?
Yeah, epilepsy. But he was just like everyone thought that he was on drugs, but they're like, no, that's just how Ian was. That's just how Ian was whenever he performed. So
dude, I was talking about this with Rich. Shout out Rich. Like me, his video guy. Like one of my best friends, one of Lance's best friends.
Writer friend, yeah.
But anyway, so we're sitting in his garage the other night, and we were talking about things that like can be like drugs but are not drugs, and I started thinking about dude. I really feel like music is a drug for me.
Music is a drug,
and I think that is because there's genuinely nothing that makes me feel like it does. Like all the drugs, not that I've done a lot of drugs, but all the drugs that I've done, nothing.
I think there's some songs
watching live music,
or
being in my car by myself screaming the lyrics to a song I love, or sitting like outside just with my eyes closed listening to something incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, dude, some records are just better than fellatio. I feel like at the end of the day, I remember that one time I texted you about that one track on the Childish Gambino.
Yes, we were just talking about this.
We were just talking about this, dude. I felt like I was getting fellatio when I was listening to the 21 Savage track. I think it's what is it fucking called?
3920.
No. I think it's 2438.
I don't know. It's a bunch of
24.38. But I remember those numbers, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how fucking decent I was. Like sometimes, like even when I'm cooking, dude. Like even when I'm cooking, I just made some shit. I'm like, man, it's better than sex.
Dude, you've been cooking a lot.
I've been cooking a lot.
You've made some stuff.
I'm a cook for us right after this fucking thing.
Lance has made me some food that's like incredible. And for context, my parents are both chefs. Okay, like my dad, his entire life he's been a chef. He went to culinary school. My mom is a professional pastry chef. That's what she does as a living.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty hard on my food, to be honest. I'm not picky, but like I know what good food is. That sounds very arrogant. And
No,
good
food,
Lance
dude.
genuinely can cook. And what's interesting to me too is like watching you get better at cooking is like you used to just kind of make stuff that tasted good. Now you're like interested in the craft.
No,
like,
I'm interested in the science of it because then you get to a certain point. It's even no. I think the reason why I'm good at cooking, I'm not even trying to be egotistical. I'm a creative motherfucker, and it is definitely transcended into that world of me cooking. When you're cooking, you are creating something, and it's not something that you just follow rules by. I'm not a baker. I fucking suck at baking. Okay, your mom would probably fucking like spit out whatever I bake for her. But with cooking, dude, when you cook, you're kind of moving it with it. You're flowing with it. Just like, does this need more salt? Does this need more pepper? Does this need more pasta water? I'm gonna talk about pasta water in a second. But you're at that. Like when you're cooking, dude, you're not just doing like one fucking thing. You're not following rules. It's all from you. While you're making a meal that someone said to you, at the end of the day, you're the one controlling it, and you're the one that's making it taste good. You're making it taste the way that it tastes. But yeah, I don't know. I just got kind of sick of like just food. I mean, tasting good and just kind of wanting to know how to make it taste better. I mean, same thing with music. I'm like, okay, I know that I can make a good fucking song. I know that I can, but how could I make it better? How could like everyone in the group somehow like learn something new? I think that's like another thing is I've been making a lot of like new shit. I've been watching this dude named J. Kenji Lopez Alt, who I think is out of the Bay Area.
He's a cook?
He is a cook. He is a master. He's like a mad fucking scientist. So pasta water emulsifies any sauce, which means it kind of just like brings it out, gives it more body. And he taught me, this mad fucking scientist, he taught me that like if you put the water, so okay, I'm not trying to shit on Italians at all. I'm not trying to shit on them at all. It's just that no, and it's done in a good way. The traditional way that you cook pasta is you have like a fuck ton of water, which is good because you have like a lot of starch collected from it. However, if it's not long noodles, if it's shorter noodles, like let's say penne, let's say macaroni, having it in cold water, putting it on a large saucepan and having the water almost like touch like half of it and then like boiling it from there, it kind of like soaks in and it gives it more. So what makes pasta water so important is the starch from the noodles that go into the water. So I don't know, it just gets collected even more. So if you were to throw a sauce on it, it would just take it in way better. But yeah, I think I'm gonna make you. What am I gonna make you after? No, I'm not even gonna say it. I have to surprise you. Yeah. But I'm gonna make. It's gonna be mac and cheese with something else. But that specific way to make mac and cheese was very interesting.
I feel like people would honestly scoff at this comparison, but I really do feel like there could be a comparison made between cooking and songwriting because.
No! Oh fuck yeah, dude! Fuck yeah!
Because what you were talking about with like. The way there is the traditional way to cook something, the traditional way to write a song, ABA, verse, chorus, or whatever you want to call it, whatever. But there's traditional song structure, or you could throw three pre-choruses in there, and then have a 2-minute bridge into like a crazy anticipated hook with like all this resolution.
I could sprinkle cheddar cheese on top of my spaghetti. I'm just kidding. I would never. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go as far.
That was the least Italian thing I've ever heard you say. No.
I remember there was this one time it was on the Tahoe trip. I was cooking with Grant. I guess he was kind of drunk, so maybe he said, I'm just going to say that was the fucking reason why. But like, on his non-Fredo shit, I don't know if I could be saying that word. He was making
I'm going to censor that. I'm going to censor that and put over your mouth, like, I'm going to put a big picture of just a pasta noodle, like a
oh my god. No, I was talking to Grant, dude, and we were out of cheese because we used so fucking much of it on other parts of the No. It wasn't spaghetti, it was lasagna.
You made lasagna?
He also fucked up that lasagna. He like burned the top of it and shit because it was anyway.
Lasagna's hard to make. It's pretty impressive.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's not.
Sorry. I guess I wouldn't know. It's not like I'm Italian or anything.
Lasagna.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know.
It's
like I work at the spaghetti factory.
He's like, okay, we don't. Yeah. He was like, okay, we don't have any cheese left. But all we had left was like, I think it was like Colby Jack shreds. And he's like, yeah, we could put this on top. I'm like, and I just look, I don't even have to fucking say anything. I just make eye contact with him. And then all of the ancestors from Italy, that like I don't have just like looked at him and we're in the room with him in that moment. And then he was like, okay, then never mind.
Grant the Gilliels.
God damn. Another thing I want to talk about, dude. I feel like whenever like I'm in, it's not necessarily just moshing, but whenever I'm in a crowd of people and, we're kind of just like moving along and grooving with the music, smells so fucking bad.
Oh
Like,
my God.
every time, like, I'm like, you don't really realize it. Sometimes you do realize it in the moment. But after I get back from a concert and I smell my, like, clothes, I'm like, who the fuck was I standing next
Hey,
to?
shout out to all my people out there who aren't stinky, but they look like they stink.
Dante. I don't think that there's something that, like, upsets me more than someone who is stinky as fuck. I'm gonna be fucking real with you. And I think the worst thing is if it's preventable. Like, let's say someone's feet stinks. That's the most preventable fucking thing, dude. Clean your feet, you know? That's what makes me fucking mad. If you don't shower and, you know, you're just not putting anything into your fucking hygiene, like, fucking shower.
If you're not going hard as fuck in the shower, you need to put some more effort in.
Dude, like,
get your priorities
I'm gonna be
straight.
fucking real, dude. I'm gonna be fucking real.
If you aren't scrubbing for at least 25 minutes and you aren't sweating by the time you get out of the shower, take your hygiene more seriously.
Bro, on purpose, dude. On purpose, whenever I go and get myself shampoo, I get myself soap. I fucking make an effort to get the most, like, feminine shampoo, just to emphasize that I smell good. You know, there's nothing.
That's a power move.
No. I even on top of fucking that, I'll go to my mom's room. I'll get her fucking conditioner and shit and use it. You know, I don't even give a fuck. It's something that, like.
Why does feminine hygiene product always
always
smell
better,
so much better than
They're always
males?
sick, dude.
Why is there this preconceived notion by whoever makes hygiene products for male that males don't want to smell like fruit or like flowers? Like, dude,
Yeah, that's the way
I want to
do it.
smell like fruit
That's
and
the
flowers.
fucking
I don't
way
want
to
to
do it.
smell like I don't know, like, dude, there are like some colognes that smell like old men. Like, that's just like the smell of them.
Dude, Axe body spray, I'll fucking throw up right
Yeah,
now.
I don't
fucking
get it.
throw up, dude. You probably have a few friends that use Axe body spray. That's okay.
So
That's
do you.
okay. Yeah, I probably do. I don't give a fuck.
We both probably have the same friends that probably use Axe body spray.
Anyway, at the end of the day, just stay not stinky.
At the end of the day, man, we don't have all day, and we are running low on power and time.
Yeah.
And I do want to say one thing. All right.
What do you want to say?
In this interview, we've got a lot of talk of spaghetti, a lot of talk of
What
Italian,
are we
a lot of
okay.
talk about this being the 1 year anniversary of Music Matters. Okay, all
Yeah.
those topics have been
All right.
on the table.
All right.
Today at my job, where I serve spaghetti,
Okay.
I had a man who I serve. This man comes in just about every Sunday. Every Sunday. He's always rude. He's always a dick. Okay? And I don't, you know, maybe I'll get fired from my job from saying this. It is what it is, man. But today, this guy comes in. Hey, sir, can I have a tall glass of cranberry juice? That's what he always asks for.
That's
It's
cool.
always
That's cool.
cranberry juice.
Cranberry juice is actually kind of
Cranberry
good.
juice,
I like cranberry
It's
juice.
always cranberry juice. And I bring him his cranberry juice. And I specifically remember last time I did, he got upset at me because I put ice in it. So this time, I bring it to him with no ice. I didn't even double check. I said, sir, would you like ice in your cranberry juice? He goes, no.
Right.
He didn't even say like and
But how? Okay.
but that's how he said it. That's
I
how he
want
said it.
I want
He
to
goes-
villainize
he goes,
him more than like I already.
Hold up. But
okay.
let me explain his aura. Okay, so this man, I bring him his cranberry juice. A couple minutes go by. I come back. He calls me over.
Yeah.
And he goes. He just takes his 2 fingers. Okay. Let's say this is the cup of cranberry juice. He takes 2 fingers, and he goes. And I'm just like. I didn't know what to say. Exactly. I had nothing to say. I was just like, what do you? I didn't say this, but I was in my head. I was like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you doing right now? And he goes, 2 fingers. And I was like, what?
Fuck.
And he was all like, when I got this glass of cranberry juice, it was I had 2 fingers left of space in it, and then I was like, I just like didn't say anything, and then he was all like, am I paying for this glass of cranberry juice? And I was like, yeah.
How old
And then
is this fuck?
he's old. And then he was all like, then don't you think I would have wanted a full glass? So, let's okay,
Is he white?
no. Well, actually, I think so. I'm not gonna assume like his race, but I don't know. But anyway, I just want to say, working in food service. I'm not gonna say where I work. I work in food service, and working in food service is sometimes really hard, and that moment today was a good reminder of that to me, and it kind of upset me, man, because it gets really old being treated like shit. So I started thinking, man, I'm like, a year ago today, I started interviewing musicians. I can't wait till the day where we can look back at these interviews.
Yeah.
And I was able to quit my shitty job serving food to people.
Yeah.
And being treated like subhuman in exchange for interviewing people about the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah.
And that's music.
That's music. Yeah, I mean, fuck that guy.
Music matters, everybody. Year anniversary episode. Lance Redeker, I appreciate you, my brother.
How long are we keeping this running for?
Probably gonna end it just because
Probably gonna end it.
Running low on power.
For sure. Yeah, I mean.
Tell them what's coming down the pipe, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I'll say it. I don't think I'm gonna post it on social media yet, but I'll say it here. I have this song, and it's probably like my craziest song ever.
I agree.
It's something that I honestly just, it's gonna be something that like, oh my god, he's gonna release another song with Truman, he's gonna release another pop banger. I'm like, nope. I mean, yes, it's a pop banger, but it's different. It's like on my Olivia Rodrigo angst, because I just got out of some angsty shit and I'm feeling angsty and I made an angsty song with the team. Also, a lot of Remy Wolf inspired that song, but it's a song called Can I? That is going to release. I'm not going to say the date, but early December.
It's coming though.
It's coming.
You guys should be excited for it.
It's something that, like, I mean, I performed yesterday, so.
Yeah, I mean, people heard of this.
People heard it.
Anyway, man, I love you, brother. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for another interview, and it's crazy to me to think that you know, there was nobody else I would have wanted to interview in the year anniversary of this. You were the first person I ever interviewed, and I owe a lot to you, man. I love you, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, proud of you.
Music matters. Appreciate you guys.